Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello from everybody all around the world. This is the Watch Report with me, yo, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We're back on this Thursday afternoon with another action-packed show for you today, as we got to cover the world of boxing and beyond in the sports ethos. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a jam-packed show, and I promise you, you don't want to miss what we got to offer. We got Tank and Lamont Roach coming down the pipe. We got Tyson Fury coming back. Can you believe it? On top of David Benavidez and what may be his toughest fight of his career yet, as he defends his first ever title at 175. Of course, yes, he's had multiple championships in the past, but now fully being in a situation where he is the reigning champion at the light heavyweight division. Now he's going to face off against Anthony Yarde, as well as so much more in the topic of boxing and just sports in general that we got to discuss. Free agency is still going absolutely ballistic. The Lakers got a center. Can you believe it? Oh, yeah. And we got so much more to discuss and so much more to be enthralled with on this show today. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And if you would, please leave a like on the stream if you're already here. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below, and we can see what you got to say, and we can have all of your needs be met, and we can have your voice be heard right here on this show. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post on this channel and whenever we have a show. And also, share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Yes, indeed, we can't do this without you and your support, and every person that joins, we appreciate it. We want to get this show out. We're turning into the hottest show in all the globe, and it's all thanks to you. We can't do it without you. So absolutely, come on, tell everybody, tell a friend, tell your mom, your dad, your pop, don't matter where and don't matter who. Tell them this is the place they need to be. And also, we got a podcast, or rather, this show is a podcast, and so every episode can be heard on podcasting platforms. Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And if we're not, tell us, we will get there. Absolutely no question about it. Rate us 5 stars there. Share the show there as well. Listen to us 5, 6, 7 times on 8 different devices so you can have my voice be heard in surround sound. No question about it. Hey, you might not like it, but hey, that's what I need to happen. So hey, chop, get to it. But I'm just being funny. We got a lot of show to cover. We got a lot of topics to do. And we got a lot of things to discuss in a small amount of time to do it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the world of boxing first and foremost. And since we're talking about boxing, it's time to step into the ring. Hey, that's right. Ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round 1 of this show going underway, as we have to discuss. Well, honestly, we got a multitude of topics, and we can go ebb and flow either way what we want. We can either talk about David Benavidez first. We can talk about Tank and Lamont Roach, and if Tank can actually beat this brother in the rematch coming up later on in the year. And of course, it's between one of those two topics. You know what? We'll talk about the big thing first. We will talk about the David Benavidez and his fight with Anthony Yarde. Yes, indeed. And that fight is indeed going down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Mexican monster, one of the biggest stars and one of the biggest punchers in all of boxing, now ready to defend his throne for the first time at light heavyweight, going up against multi-time contender and very valuable threat in Anthony Yard. Mind you, Yard has been in the ring with other champions before, like with Archer Beterbiev. Gave Beterbiev an absolute war a couple of years ago in their fight when he was trying to get the belt and take it from Archer Beterbiev. Of course, again, became a victim of the knockout streak and of the power that Archer had been able to use on every single one of his opponents. But he did put on a great showing. Now, there is some cause for pause, however, because this brother also has had a downward trend in his own career throughout the years. Ever since that fight with Archer Beterbiev, it has been, some would say, a lackluster endeavor from the standpoint of where his career trajectory has gone throughout the course of his career. Now, we're not calling him a bum in the slightest. No, we're not. He is the truth. He is real. He is legitimate. We're not going to say this brother ain't good. He is good. He's really good. But the issue is that talent coupled with the production over the years, even against maybe not the best top 10 caliber or the best championship level competition, beyond the championship level competition, he has been, some would say, a little bit of a letdown, a little bit of a disappointment. Now, that's not to say that he can't bounce back. It's not to say that the brother can't still be and can't potentially still beat the likes of a David Benavidez, who again is looking more vulnerable in this division, though his talent has gotten better in this division. People keep talking about the power, talking about he ain't got the same pop. He ain't just blowing people out the water like he used to be at 147 or at not 147, excuse me, I'm stupid, not 147. He wasn't blowing people out like he was at 168. And all of a sudden now he's not the same guy. There's been some concern. Is he really the same Mexican monster that we know? But again, he has evolved as a fighter, but he is now seen as potentially there is a chink in the armor. And our Yard could take that chink and turn that into a full-blown implosion of ability with his own power and ability. Because again, Yard is 27-3, 24 KOs. This is one of the heaviest hitters in all of the division. Again, he lost to Archer Beterbiev. He KO'd Jorge Silva. Again, not a bad win. Then had win against Marco Nikolic, beat him in 3 rounds. And afterwards, won against was it Vicals? I think Vilkans. Excuse me, Vilkans won that on points, and then beat Lyndon Arthur 12-round unanimous decision. So, like I said, ain't bad. It's not bad at all. But there is a necessary concern that some of these performances, while winning, are not the very are not as, what's the word, eye-catching per se as they used to be. Starting. Good gosh, I thought, no, not wrong button. Dang it, I thought I had changed the thing on the screen. My bad, so sorry. But before I even continue, guys, we got a little bit of backdrop between Anthony Yard and David Benavidez. We got chats in the chat, so let's see what you all got to say right now. I'm not going to leave y'all out. Al Booger, what's good with you? How you doing? Hey, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming into the show. Absolutely. Biscuits and Groovy, what's good, my brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. So glad that you're here. So glad you joined in on the conversation. Good morning, my brother. I have come to really think you may be the top boxing analyst I've ever seen. Hey, look, I appreciate it. It does my heart good for you to think that highly of me. Hey, look, I'm just a man having fun, and I want this to be my job. We're just doing this because I love doing it. There are people smarter than me, no question. There are people that know more than me, absolutely. There are people that have been doing this way longer than me. No question about it. I just try to do the best I can with becoming informed, learning, and then taking the information and molding it into what I think is the best type of opinion. I'm wrong, probably more often than not. Maybe so. Don't know. I'll let the chat say that if I'm right or not. But, I don't know everything. I just know what I know. And if I'm wrong, that's why this community is so great. Because you all can correct. We can come to different conclusions. And, hopefully I'm just doing the job that will make you proud. That's really what I hope to do, because I just want you all to learn and grow and help be entertained all at the same time. But I do appreciate it, man. I really do. I'm doing my best. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be. But with your help, we're going to get to that level eventually. Absolutely. But I'll keep on doing the work for you all, because that's what you all deserve. A legitimate, as good as possible unbiased opinion on the world of sports and boxing, at least as best as I can give it. So yeah, but let me see. Miss Queen, how you doing? Good to see you this afternoon, morning. Well, you know what? At this time of day, we'll say that the sun's up, the weather's humid, and the day has arrived. Hey man, we here. We live. It is hot. Look, full disclaimer, real quick, and before we delve deeply into the topics of the day. As again, we talking about Dave and the videos right now. But let me tell you something right now, just as a quick side note. It is hot. It is burning up down here. What the world? I'm talking about it like I live in the South. I love the heat. I do. I like it hot. When it's on the sand, just walking about, I like it hot. In my room, like it hot. Plain and simple. I understand. May not be everybody's taste, but that's my taste. But brother, sister, whoever the world is living, it is insane. It's getting to like, shoot, I'm burning up. And it ain't, look, around me, it ain't even like that humidity. Or it'll be a mix. It'll be like humid one day, and then it'll be just dry. I'm talking about like no moisture, just straight up dry. Dry. Like slicing heat that you just don't want to step outside. It's hot in my room right now. If I'm being completely honest, I thought I had the temperature set. Thank the Lord I got some AC, but even still, like, shoot. I didn't expect someone to be this type of menace. Great day. Take some rounds off. I can't believe I'm asking this. Give me some rain. Let me see a day of 80, 85 even. It's been nothing but 90s. For the past, 3 weeks? I tell you, be safe out there, please. Stay hydrated. Drink some water if you can. Because, brother and sister, it's going to be a mighty hot endeavor as we're getting into the meat and potatoes of July. Also, happy early July 4th to everybody all around in America. Hey, celebrating again. Get your stuff on the grill. Get your stuff on the cook. Bring your family together, all that stuff. Hey, it's all well and good. Yes, the country's been a little bit, not so great. I understand. But hey, at least it's a time to come together and say, hey, you know what? We can still get through it. And the cook contest, grilling, Nathan's hot dog cooking contest, burgers and fries are plenty for all. I love it. I can't wait to do it. Shoot, I'm gonna not eat for the rest of the day just to prep for tomorrow so I can eat my tail off and have myself fat and full. It's gonna be great. Wait, hold on. Oh, you know what? I was thinking about it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a 4th of July show on Thursday. Oh, Friday. Excuse me. We're gonna do it. 4th of July tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. We're gonna do a 4th of July show tomorrow. That's what we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I got the time. We got people here. They're going to be coming in the afternoon. We got some time. We're going to be able to do it. I'm going to do a 4th of July show on tomorrow. So, hey, come in. Feel free. Have a chat. It's still the same product or same formula, but with a little bit of a celebratory thing, per se. So, yeah, we'll do it on Friday. I didn't think I was going to do it, but you know what? Doggone it. We here. We live. We're going to make it happen. Absolutely. But now back to the topic ahead. Benny versus Yard. Yard. Oh, excuse me. I spelled Yard's name wrong. I'm so sorry. It's not Yard. It's Yardé. There we go. But I digress. Ooh, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Gotta kill something. Hold on. He's got a big old spot coming through here. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh. Woo. My bad. I'm so sorry. Oh, that scared the mess out of me. Oh, shoot. Look. Hup.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. Woo! I'm so sorry. I mean, look, see, Miss Queen, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. Okay. I just saw one of the biggest spiders I've ever seen. I'm dead serious. just walking along. Look, my room's clean. Don't act. Hey. Look, my room's clean. Don't act like I got a dirty setup over here. But I'm clean and pristine. We keep it professional in all things. I don't know where that thing came from, but that brother, shoot, you want to talk about fear? Brother, I saw that thing crawling beside me, and it took all my composure to keep myself as calm down as possible. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. That was hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me throw this bug away. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Give me 10 seconds. We're gonna be right back. Give me 10 seconds. Let me throw this thing away. And then we're gonna be right back to the show. Oh, that was horrifying. Give me 10 seconds. By the end of this countdown, we're gonna be back. Oh shoot. That was terrible. That ain't it. I'm flustered. Shoot. What is that? There we go. Yep. All right, I'm back. Okay, it's thrown away. Shoot. I'm gonna keep that shoe beside me, just in case. I'm telling. Look, I'm clean. Okay, I ain't like some other streamers on this channel, some big ones who will not be named, who I don't know what the world they be doing with their room. I keep my stuff like it needs to be, but shoot, that scared the mess out of me. All right, we back. Yard, Benavidez, it's happening. Great, phenomenal. Clap and cheer. Yes, we love it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. We need to ask the question, is this his toughest test thus far in his career? And can he take on this type of challenge going up against the likes of Anthony Yard? And again, I do apologize for the bug related, for the spider related stop in the show, but we back on track now. And again, we're gonna hit Roach. We're going like you can see, we got Tank and Roach, we got Tyson Fury, we got a lot of stuff we're gonna be discussing on this show. But real quick, we do want to keep with the agenda first and foremost. And so let's see what people got to say right now. It's invisible roaches. They like chameleons. Hey, look, this wasn't a roach, brother. This was this was a big old spider, huge. Oh my gosh, like massive. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's horrible. That's I can't have that. I can't have that at all. You don't even you only gotta say it, John. You were gonna say show me. Look, I ain't know. I wasn't. I didn't even know. I ain't know nothing about it. I was talking about Asmongold for my people that be watching streaming. The Asmongold, it takes pride in his dirty desk that he got me going on, dirty room and all. He loves it. He literally relishes it. I was referring to him. But again, I ain't trying to make no enemies. And again, if that's what he does, that's what he does. Showbiz, I ain't got a clue what he's got on his disc. If there's been a stream where he's had a roach, hey, I haven't seen it. If he's got him, hopefully he gets them fixed. If he doesn't care, he don't care. I ain't about to jump into that pit trying to demean nobody. I ain't trying to do that. I just know what I do. And what I do, I keep it clean. What I've seen him do, he seems to keep it clean, which is great. Just like me, he probably got roaches that, hey, some things just get through. And I don't like it. I don't know if he does or doesn't. I ain't going to jump into that. So, Nancy, speaking of Roach, when Tank fight again. So, Roach is fighting, Tank versus Roach is fighting August 16th. Yes, indeed. That fight is in August 16th to Tank's title at 135 pounds. So make a date. Get it set. August 16th is when that fight's going down. Tank and Roach, that's when the rematch is. And so we're going to touch on that. Again, that is the next topic of this show, directly after this topic. But again, before we do, Gotta stay on top of it real quick. We got to. I don't want to waste too much time. We've already wasted time already because I got scared out of my mind. But Dave Benavidez at the yard, defending his title, is great. It's just going to be a fight that he can win. This is a dangerous endeavor for David Benavidez. I'm going to promise you that right now. I'm telling you right now, you better watch out. Let me tell you, Yard can mess up everything that's going on right now in the world of Benavidez and his rise to a title or rise to becoming undisputed, though he is already a world champion. It can end it in a heartbeat. Oh, yes, it can. Because Yard, he's that type of powerful puncher. The ability of Yard has at its best taken people like Artur Beterbiev to great lengths to have to be. I'm talking huge lengths to have to be. This is a buddy who was going toe-to-toe with the likes of Artur Beterbiev in terms of Anthony Yard. This cat was going toe-to-toe with him, landing great shots in his own right. Doing one thing that I dare say we didn't even see Bebo be able to do, even in Bebo's victory against Artur Beterbiev, which was, ironically enough, make Beterbiev bleed. Make him bleed. Made him swell up. Had that brother in the corner actually for a couple of rounds. Not gonna lie, if you're going in terms of like the back and forth between Yard and Beterbiev, he has some real advantages. This cat is not somebody to be trifled with. Yard is not somebody to be messed with. Now, again, what's going on with Yard right now? Yes, he's won every fight since then, but they haven't been as impressive. Sure, the opponents weren't as good outside of Lyndon Arthur, who again is a good fighter, not a great fighter, but a good fighter. Understandable, but still, most of his performances have lost a touch of something. There's something from that fight with Artur Beterbiev and all the fights leading up to Artur Beterbiev that Yard showed that spark, that fire. It's something. It doesn't seem as the same. He's still good. Don't get me wrong, but that's been one of the critiques of his last couple performances. But still, don't let those critiques fool you, though they may be valid. Yard is a brother who can knock out David Benavidez. I'm telling you right now, this is a dangerous fight for David Benavidez to have in his first title defense at 175. I promise you. This, I dare say, this is more dangerous than Morrell. I dare say. This is more dangerous than David Morrell. This is a more dangerous fight than David Morrell. I'm telling you. I promise you. David Morrell, great amateur background, 11-0, or I think 10-0 going into that fight. No, excuse me, 11-0 going into that fight with David Benavidez. Phenomenal. Deserves the hype. Deserves the claim. Deserves to be talked about like he's talked about. However, I'm telling you all right now, David Benavidez versus Yard. Yard is more capable to put Benavidez out. Morrell didn't really have any ability to adapt to what Yard or to what Benavidez was throwing at him when he got overwhelmed. On Yard's best day, he can. Oh, yes, he can. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he can. I'm telling you, he can. Oh, that's a scary brother to fight. Not just from a physique standpoint, from an actual skill set standpoint. Though, again, like we said, there's been some critiques on what he's been like since that Artur Beterbiev fight. And so it's a good fight, but it's a dangerous fight. But let me see. Teddy Berkshot, what's good with you? How you doing? Hey, Teddy, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Oh, Yard, my dude. Hey, yeah, I love watching Yard. I really do. Yard is a great fighter. He is a really talented, and he's got a fighter. He's got a lot of skills and a whole bunch of power. Again, this brother's got he's 27-3, 24 KOs on his resume. And it ain't just pop that carries this cat. He's got some real skill. But for me, something's missing. And I can't think of something about Yard in these last couple performances. He's just off. Maybe it might just be me. And if I'm wrong, again, as a fan, please say your piece. I want to hear what you got to say. But something just seems off about him in terms of what should have been an elevating threshold for Yard to continually be, on countless occasions, a contender after contender after contender in a high level that's always going to be talked about at least of the top 5 of the light heavyweight division. Now it seems like he's kind of fallen by the wayside. in a division that honestly might not be as deep, that would allow for him to be like, okay, yeah, there's so many good names. It makes sense that he might not be called up as much or notarized as much because there's a plethora of talent up there. Not saying there isn't a plethora of talent. There is. But he's not as involved in that championship conversation as I would expect to be. Something about it seems off, and it might be because of his talent. It's still there. It's just, it seems to be quelled for some reason. I can't put my finger on it. But again, just me. I like the fight, though. Yeah, no, I love the fight. The fight's great. And it further proves the point that Benavidez does not duck anybody. Benavidez doesn't duck any smoke at all. There's never been a time when Benavidez ever chooses to go against people that are indeed valid threats to his own legacy. And I love it. I truly love it. This is great. It's great all around. I love the fight. If not, he trained himself because the coach learned from him. So you are right. He needs a real coach. Wait a minute. Wait. His last trainer was Arthur and Kovalev. Wait a second. Hold on. What do you mean he trains himself? Are you telling me that this whole time Yard has been self-trained to get to this level of great to elite type of competition that, while not talked about as much, is one of the bigger threats to most of the contending standings in light heavyweight? He's been training himself. I mean, credit to him. My gosh. Hey. Congratulations. Great. Hey, his training don't do nothing. So, well, that may be the problem right there. That might be the problem. I think you might just hit the nail on the head. The reason for Anthony Yard's seemingly stagnation in what should be a very, and I do mean very quick evolution for his elevation as a fighter. It should be drastically better. It could be for this very reason that you pointed out. He ain't got a real coach. He ain't got a buddy that's actually chiseling him. He ain't got a coach that is molding him into something more by forcing him to shift and adapt and either get to an uncomfortable spot or hone in better on the things that he's actually great on. And now again, every trainer is different. We get it. Every trainer don't work for everybody. We completely understand that. Oh my gosh. Just ask anybody that trains you, Roy Jones Jr. But it is complete hit or miss every single time. You know why? Because the misses are incredibly bad. Like with Chris Eubank Jr. And most fighters who try to train with Roy Jones, because his style just can't work with it. It just can't. Then you got Garcia, who seemingly is able to continually pump out champions. Derek James, who was able to pump out champions, though I don't know what's happening now with the brother. Bomac, great coach, and can work with most fighters and elevate them greatly. Some it's very specific. And in some, like with Anthony Yard, potentially, just don't do nothing at all. And so, this is the bottom. Let's go back and watch the video of the coach, Coach Adam talking. He said, I learned from him, there's nothing he needs to learn. Well, that's just preposterous. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Well, if that's, is he coaching now? Is he still Anthony Yard's coach at this point in time? He said that before Kovalev almost killed the brother. But he said that before Kovalev almost killed the brother. But he learned a lot. And yeah, he did learn a lot. He did learn a lot from that fight. But brother, his coach is going to, man, if this is the type of mentality that his coach has, he's going to lose this fight. He's the, oh gosh, no. Oh Lord.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here. We got some problems here.
Brother, you can't use that type of language here. You can't, we're trying to be a PG show. You can't call somebody the Malik Scott of boxing. Oh, that's the ultimate disrespect. Oh my God. That's the, you call somebody that, you might as well cuss him out. Because that brother's a bum when it comes to. Ah, shoot. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. So if that's really what's going on, and if his coaches, again, if he hasn't got rid of him, and if what's the name? It's Coach Atum, is that his name? If Atum is the coach that's been having this type of mentality and rhetoric with going at the likes of Anthony Yarden training, then that's I'll tell you this right now. Benavidez is about to have a win. Benavidez is about to be he's about to have it. If this is the case, Benavidez is about to have his first title defense at light heavyweight be a success. It's about to be. Because you cannot think like that going up against the likes of David Benavidez, let alone with the stylistic nature of Anthony Yarden and how he fights, which is a come forward nature. Now going up against another come forward fighter who has successfully evolved into a multi-dimensional type of entity that can both box and brawl, walking forwards and walking backwards. No, let's not forget that. Let's not forget that at all. This man, he can't fight like that. He can't fight like that. Again, going back to Artur Beterbiev, there was a point in time when Artur was having success, a couple rounds for the knockout, and Anthony Yarde, instead of trying to adapt, move out, and at least gain some distance and try to set some traps at minimum. Though again, it's Artur Beterbiev. I get it. It's gonna be hard to work. It's gonna be hard to trap that butter. But still, he stayed with just going and trying to bang it out, which we applaud, we respect, and he did. With respect, he didn't do a bad job with that. But ultimately, when it wasn't working at all, the butter still kept with the same thing, and ended up getting caught and ultimately knocked out. And throughout the other fights, there's a reason why these critiques have been coming up about Yarde. It's not just because the names, quote unquote, are not as big that he's facing off against. Outside of, again, Lyndon Arthur, who again is a good fighter. He is a good fighter. Not great, but he is a good fighter. There's respect to there. But even still, there has been a stagnation in this development. Now again, we pointed out because of the coach, but stagnation in development that is going to, and if he's that prideful to think, yeah, I don't need nothing, then it's going to be bad. So Benavidez Benavidez will humiliate him. But I still will go for Yarde. I get it. I want to see Yarde push Benavidez. I do. Because he's going to need that. If we're expecting David Benavidez to reach the heights of getting a shot at the undisputed title against the likes of a Bivol or Beterbiev, depending on who wins that trilogy match, he's got to be pushed. He's got to. This is a needed test, but it's a necessary test that needs to be an actual test for me. Because I need this man in David Benavidez to feel what it's like at the or close to that championship level of a Bivol or Beterbiev. What the brother who's been in there and who should be able to, in some way, shape, or form, at least give a semblance of damage that we know the people like the Arturs can do, at minimum. At least give Benavidez a taste of one side of the equation when it comes to Bivol or Beterbiev, what it's going to be like being in the ring with them. Yarde's got the pop to do that. We got a taste of what can happen if Benavidez gets popped, like when he faced off against David Morrell. Got rocked. He did, both times. Now with a more experienced fighter who's been in the ring with an even more competitive, who's been in the ring with the tops of that division. He can give you things and give you tricks that he learned from the literal top dog. At least at that point in time, Artur Beterbiev. On top of all the other skill sets that got him to that top of the mountain to contend for a title. So now there's new tricks of the trade of a championship-esque level. Again, he's not a champion, but of that level that I think at his best, Yard can show and give Benavidez a lot of trouble with. But if he doesn't, it's going to be business as usual. Now, normally I say that's not bad. Business as usual. Do what you do best. But for this specific situation, I need to see Benavidez have a sense of, I need to work around another wrinkle. I need to adapt again to another type of issue. Because as much as I love the growth of Benavidez, there's still something eating away at me that once he gets to Bivol and Beterbiev, it's not going to be as much of a, oh yeah, I'm confident he can win. More so than he's got the ability. He's got the innate talent, but I don't think he can win. Though I know it's a close fight. If I was going to pick a winner, I would have Benavidez beating Bivol more than beating Beterbiev. But both of them, it's going to be a great fight. But right now, he's just outside that threshold right now. This is the fight that can prove to me whether or not he can, okay, yeah, give him one of them two. And I can truly make it a 50-50 fight and have confidence in saying, yes, Bivol can take it. Or excuse me, that Beterbiev can take it. No, excuse me, that Benavidez can take it. Good gosh, there's so many B's. Now, I'm sorry. That Benavidez can beat either one of them. I can stand firm that he's got more than a good chance at doing it. Right now, he has a chance. And it ain't a bad chance. But there's still a one more inkling of growth I need to see. And I think Yard can bring it to him. Absolutely. Now the disrespect is calling Malik Scott the A-team of the USA. Hey, man, look, if you're ever in reference to Malik Scott as a coach, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. Again, just my humble opinion. Because we saw the job that he did to one of the most vaunted power punchers of the time. And this man is still off the backs of that type of teaching, has not recovered, even in his last fight against Herndon, which, ironically enough, we didn't talk about that yesterday, which we were supposed to talk about yesterday. So I'm so sorry about that. But regardless of which, we're going to talk about that later on in the show. We'll bring that up in the championship rounds, absolutely, at the end of the show. But we'll keep with the agenda for now. I'm out though, big dog. All right, man. Well, glad that you came through. Glad that you came through. Glad that you're here. And hey, whatever you do, hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you have some fun and enjoy the rest of your day. And if you come back through, we will invite you in with open arms, absolutely. But we're about to go into the next topic of the show, which is now Tank versus Roach, the rematch. And can Tank actually beat the likes of Lamont Roach in their comeback fight? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. Let me see. A-Team would have lost, would have got a loss against Hellenius. Hey. You ain't lying. But again, I digress. We got to go and we got to make sure that we move on with the show. But again, peace and love to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you come back, hey, we'll be waiting to hear from you. Absolutely. But regardless of which, oh gosh, let me slow down. We need to talk about Tank versus Lamont Roach. This is the biggest thing. This is one of the biggest issues. One of the biggest talked about fights of the year. And I haven't been trying to talk about it as much. We don't want to just harp the show with just one topic. We want to make it so that we can, again, we know the big names, sure, absolutely. But we want to try to spread it out to make it so that we can have a full breadth of conversation and make everybody, find new fighters, learn to talk about other topics. Because you can run people into the ground talking about the same thing. But now is a good time as any to talk about Tank and Roach. And we've been having so much diatribe, so many talks and conversations, so much of a habit of going through and saying who we think's going to do what to who. Oh, Roach ain't got no chance. Oh, Roach is going to get destroyed. Oh, Lamont is going to beat the brakes off of Tank. Oh, Tank ain't the same. Tank is just he's a fraud. He ain't real. Nah, Lamont ain't real. That brother, hey, this was just a fluke. You're going to see what it's really about. We've had all this talk and conversation. All of this. And it has been a lot. But I'm telling you right now, we need to understand that there is a more concerning issue on the side of Tank than Roach when it comes to this fight. Because it is Tank that is fighting from a position he's never had to fight at in his career. he is fighting as the potential. I'm going to be hesitant when I say this, but it's in some cases, it's the truth. He is fighting in some ways as the underdog in this fight. There he is.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems
There he is.
We got some problems here.
I'm so serious. He is fighting in some ways like the underdog in this fight because of the performance that he put up or that Roach put on him all those months ago. And now off the back burner, we've gotten two lines of thought. Either A, Tank's going to come out of the house on fire better than he's ever been before, and he's going to destroy the likes of Lamont Roach, or B, Tank really ain't built to beat him. That's what we dealing with. There's no middle ground in these conversations. There hasn't been. I'm so serious. I dare go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go anywhere and look at the conversations surrounding this fight with Tank and Lamont. And I promise you, there's no middle ground. There's no both sides of the coin. It's a real 50-50 situation. It's either all or nothing on either side of the spectrum. And that is what Tank is at. It's facing. And Gervonta Davis has never been in that type of situation before. Where not only it's not just extreme on his end, but it's extreme on the opponent's end as well, as to what he can do to you versus what you can do to him. And again, we talked about it with the mental aspect, the pride with Tank. Can Tank take losing? Can Tank take the ability of potentially being a quote-unquote laughing stock in the world of boxing? Because if he loses, it's going to fall hard on the boxing public. It will. I'm telling you, it will. It is going to be a real day on social media. Everybody's going to be saying, oh my gosh, can you believe it? I told you. You're going to see Tank haters coming out the woodwork and say like, oh man, see, I told y'all he's a bum. Told you his legacy is in the gutter. I told you this cat is nothing really serious when it comes to the legacy of the sport of boxing. You're going to have a lot of heartbroken fans as well. But the gist is, it's going to be pain. It's going to be a lot of pain. So he's dealing with the mental aspect and the baggage and all that stuff. Understand him. But even beyond that, with the actual fight at hand, there's a real conversation that we may see that Tank may have just met his kryptonite. Hypothetically. And it's not just because, the power ain't the same, or Lamont Roach is just too tough for anybody to be able, or it's too tough for Tank to be able to knock out cleanly. There's a real inkling that Lamont has the game plan to beat him. And it's the very game plan that we've all been saying don't do if you're going up against Tank Davis. Stand and bang. Stand and bang with him. It's crazy. It sounds ridiculous. But we could have met somebody that can do the very thing that, in all honesty, is one of the better ways to make it so that you can actually have a chance to beat Tank, which is not just make him respect you, but show and you be the aggressor and you come out on the other side and actually be clean. That's what Lamont showed that he can do. And now going up against Tank again, like we've said before, Tank in his fight with Lamont, Tank did everything we know Tank does. Tank downloaded information. Tank held back. Tank waited. Tank went like a supercomputer and put together a game plan so that in the last 6 rounds of the fight, he could go through and do what he does best. Knock him out. Knock you out. His whole style is predicated on knocking you out. It's not about winning rounds. It's not about outboxing you cleanly. It's about knocking you out. That's what Tank does. He's not just a brawler. Gervonta Davis is not just a brawler. Tank Davis is not just somebody who just goes through and just belligerently punches wildly. This is a counter puncher, and this is a methodical fighter that will systematically develop ways to go and beat you with one clean shot. And he will lose rounds willingly to set up the shots at the end of the fight to finally get the win and knock you down, knock you out. That's what he does. That's what he's always done. Many people have his style messed up because they just see the power. That's some really good coffee. That's some really good coffee. But they just see the power. They just see the pop. They just see the bodies on the ground. They don't see the work it took to get them bodies there. They don't. That is what makes Tank Tank. The counter punching, the defense, and the IQ, more so than the power, allows him to do what he does with this power, which is incredible. But he did all of those things against Lamont, and they did not work. They didn't. Not at all. And this is when, mind you, he was having success in that fight. We're not saying that Lamont Roach was just tagging him out to Kingdom Come and it wasn't even close. No, we feel that it was a situation where Lamont did win. Oh, yes, he did. Lamont should have won that fight, absolutely. At minimum, it'd be a draw. But it wasn't like Lamont ran away with the punch or ran away with the fight, because he didn't. He never did. He never did. But at that same breath, when we're looking at this fight, we now see Tank's best only was able to get him to a draw. It was only able to get him to a draw. And it wasn't able to get him to a real concrete decision against his brother. Going into the next game plan, how do you go and evolve from what was supposed to be the perfect game plan if it didn't work? This is new territory. We've never seen Tank do something that doesn't work against somebody. Knockout or not. Against Isak Cruz with a broken hand, he adapted, overcame, outboxed Isak, though Isak gave a great fight. Rolly Romero was giving it to him. Hey, with all due respect, Rolly was giving it to him. For the first, 6 rounds? He was giving it to him. He was making life hard for Tank. Yes, he was. Until he got knocked out. But because Tank set up that game plan because of the over-aggressive nature of Rolly Romero. Countless times against countless opponents. Pedraza, Leo Santa Cruz, Frank Martin, Hector Garcia, Ryan Garcia. It's the perfect game. It is the perfect game plan. But now that doesn't fail, if he goes back to the well of that same stuff, it's not going to work. That's the thing I'm concerned about with Tank. It's not going to work if he goes back to the well with that type of fight game plan. Now, we say, hey, he won't fight like that. Some people say he'll fight completely different. Some people say, hey, yeah, I don't know who you think you're talking about when you're talking about Tank, but brother, Tank ain't somebody who's just stupid. Tank is somebody who's he's going to be even better. You're going to see wrinkles to his game that he's never had to show before. All great. I completely hope that that's what happens. I do. But there has not been a fight that I have seen Tank beat opponents not in the same way. More than just in the same vein, but with different branching approaches. I'm talking about in the same way. The same formulaic, stylistic game plan that builds up into a knockout. And then there's here's my thing. The one thing, again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Please tell me. I want conversation. I want to hear what you all got to say, absolutely. But when it comes to Tank Davis, I am not saying he stylistically doesn't have adaptability. I'm not saying that. He does. All the skills that we know Tank has, he's got them all. What is my problem is that the way he gets about to make the gameplay is the same. And once that game plan comes to, okay, we had 100%, now it's time to implement. He does not deviate from it. That's the issue. And by issue, I mean we saw with Lamont Roach, that's an issue. Because when Tank's game plan couldn't work with the normal way of, okay, I'm going to time you with this shot. I'm going to come over your punch with a southpaw, right? Yeah, with a lead left hook. Or I'm going to land a straight left on you as you're coming in. and boom, you're going down. When that didn't work, and all of a sudden now he's adapted to your adaptations. He's adapted to your game plan that you made. There was no plan B. There wasn't. There wasn't. Look at me and say that there was. If you can make it, great. Look at me and tell me there was a plan B in that fight. Look, after he saw that it wasn't working, look at me and tell me there was a plan B. Look at me and tell me that there was another avenue that Tank tried to take to be able to make this fight happen and turn around for his favor. Once he found out that he couldn't counter Lamont, once he found out that he couldn't hurt Lamont, once he found out that Lamont Roach not just was tougher than he expected, but beating him to the punch at times and timing him, there was no plan B that Tank had once plan A failed after he had created it. There wasn't. And that's where I have concerns. We asked, can Tank Davis beat Lamont Roach? Because we don't know what is Tank's next steps in this fight. Because I'm sure we get it. It's been a couple months afterwards. He's with Calvin Ford now. They're back in the gym doing all that stuff. Great, love it. Can't wait to see it. We expect him to come out and be a house on fire. We expect for Tank to be great. We expect for Tank to come out looking different, driven, all that. Yes, we expect. But that does not mean that we're going to sit here and say it's a done deal. Because it's not. It's not a done deal at all. There is no fight that is a done deal, and there is no fighter that is above the scrutiny of, hey man, we got to question what you're going to do now. When you hit stop gaps like this. Perfect example, Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, but we were all saying, hey man, what the world? That was a one-time thing. He'll never get back to that. Next thing you know, years down the line, he got back to that, and that formulaic ability of, if you step to Tyson, you got a real shot at beating him, became one of the biggest cruxes in Tyson's career as he went on to face off against other elites like Lennox Lewis, though, again, Tyson was at the very he was out of his prime at that point in Holyfield. So, I'm not trying to ask questions just to be disrespectful or just to rage bait or just, excuse me, sorry, I got something on my glasses, my bad. Or just to cause people to get upset. Really. That's not what we do. But at the same time, we cannot let this slide as to looking and calling out, hey man, Tank, with all of your greatness, we now have seen there might be a limit to what your ability can be. And with Lamont Roach, he might just be that guy that you can't get over the hump with. We don't know. We get it. We'll wait to see on August or in August. Absolutely. But you being in a situation where your plan A did not work and you could not adapt to a plan B, and you were forced, mind you, hear me now, he was forced to fight in plan A because he didn't have any other form. Or rather, excuse me, let me rephrase it. He was forced by Lamont Roach to try to make something else happen. And he couldn't. Lamont pushed him to that level of, what are you going to do when somebody steps you? We've been saying all the time, hey brother, we want to see what you can really do when somebody gives you something to worry about. When somebody gives you something to actually be afraid of. When somebody makes it so that you, as a fighter, are in the midst of a real war. And somebody can step to you like you said to everybody else. What are you going to be able to do? We want to see the best of you and what that can entail. And that comes by being forced to have to adapt. And you, when put in that situation, though it was against a guy that many people didn't think was actually that was gonna happen. Full disclosure. Many people didn't think many people didn't think that fight was going to be that competitive. I was one of them that really thought that Tank and Lamont was a fight that shouldn't have happened. Because Lamont coming up from 130 as a 135 pounder, yes, he was a champion, but nobody in their right, we're not going to do revisionist history. Nobody in their right mind who actually knew boxing thought that Lamont Roach had a shot at beating Tank Davis, moving up. Nobody. No, not a soul. Not a soul. For good reason. Not because Lamont Roach is bad, but because Tank is that much better perceived and where we were calling for him to be in terms of the greatness, pound for pound, Shakur, Lomachenko, and other fighters of that like, Lamont Roach had not shown he belonged in any way, shape, or form in those types of conversations at all. So him getting a fight with Tank was like, why are you fighting a bum? Again, when we say a bum from the standpoint of the respective talent that your own talent shows you need to be in the ring with, and you find somebody down here. That's not right. That's what we were saying. We're not going to play revisionist history. We know what this fight was looking like. And as we know with the whole Tank Davis situation versus Jake Paul, we know now, hey, yeah, he was going to fight Jake Paul if he had beaten Lamont Roach because it was supposed to be an easy win. So all of that going through, unexpectedly, you get poised with the fight of your life. You get put in a situation where your legacy is being put on the line more than you ever expected it to be. You are now in the midst of the most dangerous opponent that you've ever faced in the ring, because he showed up more than anybody else has ever shown up in their career with you. And you then do what you did, which was not bad. The fight was a great fight. Tank fought like Tank. But with the barometer of what we have been asking you, to face off against somebody that can push you to evolve, to change, to show everything in your tool belt, to do the very thing that your own coach, Calvin Ford, said that nobody's been able to do, which is force Tank to use all of his weapons. When you got put in that situation, you didn't have any more weapons. You didn't have any more weapons. There was nothing else to show. In that fight, there was nothing else that got revealed. Nothing else came out that gave us something to show, hey, yeah, oh, he's flipping the switch. He's going to that new place. He's elevating himself to that next gear. And this is not to take away from Lamont Roach. It's not. Lamont did his thing. This is not a critique on the performance and to make it demean Lamont Roach. Say, oh, Lamont Roach didn't really win. Tank lost that fight. Nah, Lamont should have won that fight. And he did do enough to win that fight. Lamont did his part and did his thing. No question. At the same time, Tank did not meet the very thing that we've been saying for him to meet when it came to facing off against real dogs, and it's time for you to show up and show your teeth. He did not bite back in a different way. That's the problem. Go watch the fight. The second it came apparent that Tank and his game plan was not going to knock out Lamont, and Lamont was actually beating him to the punch, there was no plan B to make this fight go fully in Tank's favor again. And he stayed stagnant. He did not try to change. He couldn't change against Lamont in that fight. Once Lamont countered that game plan that Tank made during the first 5 rounds. Lamont did the right thing. He built up with Tank. He didn't show all of his cards against Tank. He did not also back down from Tank. He did everything he was supposed to do. And when Tank got met with that, and Tank's game plan could not work, Tank did not do anything different. He did not. It doesn't make him a bad fighter, but it clearly points out the biggest issue with Tank, which is he is in a situation where we have to be afraid that this brother might not beat Lamont Roach. And these other people, like Floyd Schofield, amen, like Shakur Stevenson, these ain't folks that are just gonna be ho-hum. We know Tank's gonna win. Because, brother, there is a real argument. There's a real argument that Tank does not have a plan B in his back pocket once plan A fails. He makes plan A while the fight goes on. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Does it flawlessly, just like with Floyd Mayweather. But unlike Floyd Mayweather, like we just saw with Tank versus Lamont, Floyd had a plan B, was A, B, C, D, and E, if need be. Tank, plan A is flawless. But when somebody stops it, there's no plan B. There's no plan B to adapt to. And you can say, oh, when he broke his hand against Isaac Cruz, he did a plan B. What are you talking about? How crazy can you sound? No. The point still stands. It still does. Tank outboxed him. Absolutely. Great. Phenomenal. Yes, he did. That was one fight. That was one fight. Again, and to make it clear and apparent with the discussion, we are talking about how Tank fights normally. The formula is first 5 rounds, he will lose. To dissect, make a perfect game plan to then knock you out in the last rounds. He is not trying to win rounds. He's trying to win the fight by going through, being defensive, not throwing a lot, showing semblances of his offense just to see how you're going to react. And then round by round, build up a foundational formula to see what to get you out of there with by the time round 7, 8, 9, 10, more so rounds 8 and on come forth to knock you out. That's what he does. And once he starts implementing that full game plan after round 5 or in round 5. That's how he fights. But once that game plan fails, outside of Isaac Cruz, who we boxed with, and again with a broken hand and adapted, it's never been another situation where he has adapted from his initial game plan that he created by round 5. Now, granted, nobody's been able to stop that game plan that he makes in those first 5 rounds. So it works. Absolutely. Like I said, he's a great fighter. My issue is when Tank, like with Lamont, gets met with somebody that is not going to let that game plan that you created for the first 5 rounds work. Where is your plan B? And with Lamont, there was no plan B from what I saw. And because of that, all I can say is, hey man, I'm not saying you can't beat Lamont. You really can. But we're not going to sit here and act like it's a done deal because the aura and hype of Tank is going to be oh so great. He's going to come out as a different animal. He's going to be a different beast. He's going to be something different when we've seen for his entire career, he's nothing different. It's the same formula. And when it works, it works. But when the one time it doesn't, against Lamont, you didn't have another backup plan. You didn't do anything to turn that fight fully in your favor. You lost the second half of the fight. When your game plan did not work, you lost the second half of the fight. And you did not adapt. You did not shift. You did not change. You didn't. And so we can't say that you're going to be something different against Lamont when the very thing that should have worked against Lamont, because it's always a perfect game plan with Tank, didn't work. What are you going to do now? I'm not saying you can't make one. I'm just simply pointing out you got to have this in mind as a fan watching this guy, watching Tank, because he is great. But we can't just solely jump in on the hype of this brother's going to be something special the second he gets back. Because we just saw what should have worked, which is always the game plan to beat his opponents every time. It's always the best game plan to beat his ops every time he steps in the ring. There's a reason why there's no rematch for most of his fights, because he gets knocked, because he knocks him out. And yep, he set him up like he always does, which is great. But now when we see that you can't get him out there like you always do, and now you got to actually win the fight round by round, going into round 10 and on, there wasn't a shift. For what I saw, there wasn't a shift. There wasn't a better fighter. There wasn't a new game plan. There wasn't an adaptation. That's problematic. And so going against Roach, this ain't just a, you can't just say this. You can't just say he's going to wipe him. You can't just say he's going to wipe him out. We got to ask the question, can he beat Lamont Roach? Can he really beat this brother? And there's a real argument he might not be able to. There's a real argument he might not be able to. I'm so serious. But let me see what y'all got to say. We got chats in the description. Let me see. Ignore above text. Okay, so don't read this first chat. Understandable. Tank is overwhelmingly talented, and I hope he will eventually look out for his long career. I'm all for it. He is incredibly talented. We love his career. We want him to shine and flourish. We are excited. Understand this. Understand. I think I said this on a past show. This fight is the most important fight in Tank's career. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This fight is the most important fight in Gervonta Davis's career. I kid you not. I promise you. For a legacy fight, I don't care what anybody says. This fight is the fight. This is it. This is one of the biggest make or break points in his entire career. I'm so serious. Some people people think this is just a revenge tour. No, it ain't. This is genuine. One of the most important, impactful, and actively career-defining fights in Tank's entire career. I kid you not. We are not jumping the gun with this. We're not overhyping this. We get the gravity, because this is something that we've been waiting on. And this is also something that Tank has never faced before. And this is also something that makes it so that Tank is indeed in a dangerous situation. This is a legacy fight. This is going to help him. It is. Let's be real. This is going to help his legacy. It will help his legacy. This will help his legacy. Also, RO, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for doing this show. Glad that you are here. Oh, I almost forgot. Leave a like on the stream if you're tuning in. Go on, comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below. We can keep on pushing it. We can keep on having it being seen by the world. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the show to help us build up this empire together. Subscribe to join the empire, absolutely. And if you want to support the show, we're close to monetization. We're close to them super chats. We're less than 100 hours away. But since we ain't got there right now, Cash App, PayPal, if you want to support the show, links in the description as well. Anything will do. If you want to give us support and help us, invest back in the show. It's just my job right now. I'm only self-sustained. We ain't got no sponsors yet. Oh, we as we grow, they're going to come, absolutely. But it's all driven by you all. So if you all could give and support the channel, support the show, it would mean the world to me, absolutely. And put what you gave in the chat so I can give it to you, or I can shout you out as appropriately. Because again, you all are helping build this empire. I appreciate it so much. I love doing this with you all. I love doing this for you all. But I gotta make a living somehow. So hey, if you want to, it would mean the world to me, absolutely. But you just being here is all that matters. Just the fact that you take time out to listen. Hey, I appreciate it. I really do. Really, I do. But going back to Tank, this is gonna help his legacy. It will. But at the same time, this will also be a defining trait for others who are going to fight him. Because after this, he cannot go back into the world of Jake Paul or go back to another 130-pounder. He can't do that at all. Because if he does, it's going to be really bad. Really, really bad. It's going to be seen as another cherry pick. Even worse. Now you're actively not looking to fight against top competition. More so than you already being scrutinized for in the first half of this whole debacle with Tank legacy and whatnot as a conversation. That's the truth. That's the real truth. And so because of that, this is the issue. It's the problem. It's the circumstance that Tank is facing. Now at the crossroads of your career, you got to show us everything you got, which we love. And we want that. But again, the biggest thing about this fight is not just because of the legacy. The talent is there. The legacy, if this fight goes his way, this will help. It won't fix it, absolutely not, but it'll help. And it will hopefully lead to a bigger or a more consistent, it should lead to a bigger, more consistent amalgamation of talent and quality names on his resume that has everybody saying, yeah, this brother, he's that type of dog, and he proved it against these types of people. That's what we want to say. That's what we can say. But at the same time, we can't have that conversation unless he beats Tank, unless he beats Roach. And if he doesn't beat Roach, that's a problem. More so because what many people have been saying about Tank will now be validated. He didn't want to face off against big competition. He was scared of facing off against the top talent, lest he lose. He didn't want to actually push himself. Because he's forced into this fight now because it was supposed to be a clear-cut decision. Bing, bang, boom, he fights Jake Paul next. This is supposed to be easy wins, cherry picking. That's what this was. Now that it's not, he's got to get his get back to keep that name that he's got, which we understand. But I'm telling you all, there is a real concern that Tank will not be able to make a plan B in this fight. There's a real concern. And it's not because I'm calling Tank stupid. His IQ is great. He's phenomenal. He'll probably make changes from the first fight into the second fight. Absolutely. But just like in the first fight, when they trained, they were ready, and Lamont Roach stopped that game plan that they made, and Tank could not adapt with another game plan to fully separate himself from Lamont Roach when Lamont Roach was having success and stopped what Tank wanted to do. The second fight, even with these new changes that will indeed be made, there is a real possibility that Tank is going to run into this same roadblock of he won't be able to adapt. And outside of the initial game plan that he creates coming into this fight, as he formulates and does his thing, downloading info, first 5 rounds he loses, last 6 he goes to knock you out, and he doesn't. Not win, we won't say win, because it could in fact happen. But if that doesn't happen, and we're back into, okay, it's round 6 again, and Lamont Roach is again having success, and Tank is not pulling away, or is not winning these late rounds now, come back to this video. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I ain't got no problem being wrong. But come back to this video and remember what I said, that Tank Davis might not be as adaptable as we may think. And if you can beat that first game plan and meet him in the middle with an onslaught that he normally brings to his opponents and survive, Tank ain't got no other way that he can win. And we could see this man get beat. We could see him get beat. It's not out the question. It's not me being hyperbolic. It's not me being clickbaity or too much over the moon, hateful, as some people may want to say. We ain't doing that. We got to call a spade a spade. We know what we witnessing, and we know the risk, and we understand fully that this cat is a dangerous cat when it comes to Tank Davis, or when it comes to Lamont Roach and Tank, but Lamont Roach in this situation because he's the top, and even more so to be a dangerous. Brother, he stopped your plan A once. He can do it again. Will there be a plan B if we get to a point where you need a plan B? Because when you needed a plan B last fight, you couldn't make one. And if you need one this fight, can you make one at all? Or are you going to just stick it out? Which we applaud. That's a dog. Okay, I got to do what I got to do. We just going to go center for center. Fine. I'm not saying I'm rooting against it. No, it's phenomenal. But at the same time, we can't have a situation where the likes of Tank is just going to be, is that a bird? The world? I'm so sorry. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The word is that outside? Never mind. Shoot. I'm sorry. I saw something I ain't never seen before over here. So I'm trying to figure out what that thing was doing. But regardless of which, that's what we're dealing with right now. That's the concern. And it's not that Tank can't beat him. We know Tank can beat Lamont. But the question is, will he? If he comes back to this same ground zero situation of it's round 6, round 7, and Lamont's gaining steam, and everything you wanted to implement now is being shut down again. What can you do? And I'm scared that the answer might be nothing else. It's going to be another situation, just like with the last fight, where he just had to stick it out. And I'm loving that he sticks it out. But the issue is the Tank that we've been talking about can adapt and fully clean house once he flips that switch. And now he can't. Or at least against this opponent, he couldn't. I'm not saying this is just him going forward. I'm not saying it can't change. I'm not saying he can't just wipe him out. But I am saying we can't have just this blind confidence that, yeah, Roach might as well quit because Tank coming back is going to be a menace. We said the same thing about Tyson versus Holyfield, the second fight. And guess what happened? He bit his ear and got frustrated. Yes, Holyfield was headbutting the mess out of him. Yes, he was. And it should have been docked for multiple points, if I'm being completely honest. Been doing that for a lot of his career, if I'm being completely serious. But still, it's still the same result happened. Same result happened on what was and what I still feel is a better fighter. I think Tyson was a better fighter at his best than Holyfield. Absolutely. But didn't matter because Holyfield stopped what Tyson wanted to do. And Tyson couldn't adapt. Same thing that we can run into with Tank right now. And ironically enough, Tank tried to bite Lamont's ear in that fight because he was frustrated, because he was mad, because Lamont wasn't laying down and dying once he said, okay, it's time for you to go night-night. It's time for you to get knocked out, so just get knocked out already. He literally bit his ear in the middle of the ring, or tried to anyway. You can go watch it on the replay. We talked about it on this show. It happened. Eerily similar, isn't it? You know why? Because the same points are coming up again. History is a circle. It always comes back around at some point in time, in some way, shape, or vein. Now it's happened again with the indomitable Tank, one of the biggest punchers in all the globe, one of the most detrimental, destructive behemoths that this sport has to offer. Absolutely. But at that same vein, there's a cause for pause. There's a cause for pause because we saw what Destroy was the first time. And we're now pointing out there's some holes in it that can come up again the second time. And so it'd be my Just be very, very, very mindful of this going into this fight. But again, we still got more stuff to talk about on this show. And please keep on commenting, keep on sharing the show, keep on getting the likes up. If you haven't hit the like already, hit the like on the stream. Get the likes up on the show to help push the show out to the algorithm, to let the world know exactly what we got going on right here on this show, the hottest show in all the globe, right here on YouTube and every podcasting platform imaginable. The Welch Report. Yes, sir, with me, Jean-Luc Welch. We appreciate all of you coming in for the ride. And hey, hopefully having a great time. I'm still trying to make sure that we ain't missing no other potential breaking news that we got coming up on the docket. Because I would be remiss. I would be remiss if I went and mess that up. But regardless of which, we still got more to talk about on this show, like with the likes of Tyson Fury. Where's it at? There it is. Tyson Fury is back. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. For real this time. Can you believe it? It's actually happening. Legitimately. He is going and coming back to the field of battle, to the field of action, as per done by the likes of, good gosh, what in the world? This thing, hold on, somebody's outside. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. Hold on. The world? Right now. We're going to come in here and mess up my feng shui. Let me doing that. Wow, these people are crazy. Great day. Good gosh. All right, I'm back. Okay, we're good. We're good and we golden. My bad. So sorry. Had to make sure ain't nothing going on outside real quick. But no, we back. We back and better than ever. As we talk about Tyson Fury coming back to the ring and officially being in the midst of looking to be a championship contender. Yes, indeed. He is now back as per the words of Turkey Al-Sheikh himself. In fact, I can pull it up right now for you all to be able to see for yourself the announcement of a lifetime. At least as what Tyson Fury would want you to believe is the announcement of a lifetime. But it is indeed the real deal. It is indeed the truth. It is legitimate that it's coming. And I'll pull it up right now in the word. Come on. There we go. As you can see right now, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, is officially back in boxing. Yes, indeed. It's happening. He's here. He's back. He's live and ready. Turkey Al-Sheikh said himself, I've talked with him, and I have his word to have him in Riyadh season in 2026. We have a rabbit to hunt. So we now see that this is the realm of thinking that Tyson Fury's going through. If he's going to come back, it's going to be for a title. It's going to be mainly for the trilogy with Usyk that we all see. Again, was a great fight, absolutely. Was a phenomenal war, no question. But at the same time, was a fight that he lost. Absolutely was a fight that he lost. But now, looking to get his revenge. But the question now becomes, beyond just that, is there anybody else he can fight against that will be it? Because again, he is, let's be real, he should be at the back of the line. He should be. Not because he ain't great, but because he did lose twice. He did retire. And if it was wrong that Pacquiao got an immediate shot for a title in his first fight back in 6 to 8 years, after officially announcing his retirement from Ugas, then it's also wrong that the likes of Tyson Fury is potentially going to get a shot at the title first and foremost after retiring. But this being his fifth time retiring from the sport, which again is ridiculous, no question about it. It is preposterous. But either way, it's existing. And so because of that, what we're dealing with now is a who's who. Beyond just Usyk, there might be other names. Like with, and I think what's been reported, Usyk, AJ, and Dubois as the three names that Tyson Fury looks to want to come back with of a full list that he gave out to his people. So now that we know that, what should most likely happen? What should most likely happen? First and foremost, Fury versus Joshua. That's the first thing that should happen. Before we can put everything else to bed. We can put all other talks to bed. Put that to sleep right now. The only thing that should happen with Tyson Fury at this point in time, with him fully coming back, he fights AJ. He's got to. Winner of that fight, then they get a shot at the title with Daniel Dubois or Usyk, or depending on who wins that fight. In all honesty, it should be that he's got to fight against Joseph Parker. If we're being completely honest, it should be that he's got to fight AJ first, just to get back into full-blown, okay, yeah, you're in title contention. Get the biggest, where's my thing? Go ahead and get the biggest fight in British boxing history done, so we can stop having this what-if scenario and ruin what's already been ruined as what would have been one of the most hyped fights in boxing history. Go on and get that out the way. Get that done now. After that, if you win, then you go and fight Daniel Dubois or Usyk. What should happen even before that fight with Dubois or Usyk? You should have to fight against Joseph Parker, who was and still is a mandatory for the title. Don't forget that. He still is holding on to that belt. He is still the interim, the interim champion. He is the mandatory for the world heavyweight title. We thought it was going to be Parker versus Usyk, but then Dubois versus Usyk went ahead and went forth. Now, Joseph Parker knocked out Martin McCauley, kept his belt, retained his belt, and now is still in the wings for a title. I don't want what happened to Dillian White to happen to him, but regardless of which, that's what it should be. It should, best case scenario, AJ versus Fury. You beat AJ, you fight Joseph Parker. You beat Parker, you get his interim title, become a mandatory, and then you fight Usyk or Dubois. That's what I would want to happen. But most likely it's going to be the AJ versus Fury, and then winner of Usyk versus Dubois. But it should not be that he gets an immediate shot afterwards. It should not be. It can't be. It can't be. It can't be. I get he's a huge star. The brother still got to earn his keep. He's still got to earn his stripes. He's still got to show that he belongs by going against somebody that was there, who is actively competing, and is still looking to get back in the title picture, which is Anthony Joshua. So it makes all the sense in the world to go on and make that happen. Real question is, what is Tyson Fury now? We keep saying his decline has been imminent because he's lost his legs. He's lost his footwork, the footwork that he used to be. He has adapted more to a bludgeoning type of style with them long arms and leaning in on his weight and size more than his agility and speed, which is great. He can still box. He had a phenomenal, what's the word? It's not a trilogy. Duo was the wrong phrase. He had a rematch. He had a phenomenal 2-fight dance with the likes of Usyk. Now again, the right words it ain't coming to me. I know there's a right word for when you got 2 fights. I just can't think of it. I can't think of it for the life of me. But he had a phenomenal 2 fights with Usyk. But even in those 2 fights, we saw this man was changing from one fight to another. We saw how he changed from the Wilder fight to the Dillian White fight that he had. From the Derek Chisora fight to the Dillian White fight. We saw how he became more flat-footed. We saw how his legs were not moving the same way. We saw how everything about him was indeed aging. Though he can still fight phenomenally. Because of that, not saying he still can't put on a great class, but you beating AJ would be a great way to show, okay, yeah, this long stint out the ring, this long hiatus of you being no fights at all, from the Netflix documentary to the going to the beaches, to you again, you are training, yes, but not like hardcore. At least seemingly, it's in and out. We got to see what you're about, and Wilder is the best case scenario to do that. He's the best. He is the best case scenario to do that. Absolutely. And so because of that, there's a real situation where we're looking at Fury and saying, hey man, we can't have, doggone it, these people. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I don't want to keep getting up. All right, let's try that. Okay, we good. Yeah, these folks, these delinquents, doggone it, got me checking out my window every couple of seconds. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. But regardless of which, I digress. What was I saying? Fury. Looking at Fury, I want to understand, or rather I need to see, exactly what his skill set is now. At not just an advanced age, but now with ring rust legitimately around him. I need to see it. Because at this point in time, it seems we thought that this retirement was actually going to be the one that stuck. We really did. We thought this retirement was going to be the one that stuck. Little did we know. Again, fooled us all. Or rather just played the whole wraparound situation. Well, he's wrapping back around to get another big fight for big money, which I respected. But there's some level of, even though this is real, and we still know that he's one of the 3 best heavyweights in the world right now. How the landscape of the heavyweight division has changed. There are some more people that are either getting deserving or getting up to that deserving level or already are there. Like I wouldn't be mad if we got a fight with Fury versus AJ Caballero sooner rather than later. Maybe not next, but sooner rather than later. I wouldn't be mad if we got a Fury versus Moses Atuma. Or Talma, excuse me. Though, that may be a longer ways away, because again, he's still growing into into a real championship level fighter. Though he is well on his way to looking like he's going to be there. It's just things to think about when it comes to Tyson Fury. Some things to think about, no question about it. And I want to see him succeed, I really do. But in between the dedication or lack thereof, or in between his inability to potentially be the Tyson Fury that we know can compete at this high level anymore, just due to age naturally finally taking its full toll, might be some concern. But I'm still excited. I'm still excited. And it adds further intrigue to the whole of this division, which I love, which everybody loves. Because this division is getting hot. Wardley, Justice Honey, again, Moses Atama, Bakoli, even F.A. Ajagba. It's a AJ Caballero. Big Bang Jane, can he make one last run back? Daniel Dubois being the killer that we all thought he might be able to be and fully living up to that moniker. All these things are coming to fruition, or potentially coming to fruition, which is great, which is exciting, which we love it. Adds to the drama of the whole sport, especially with the big boys, which everybody loves to see. So, I'm telling you this right now. Be prepared. I'm not saying Fury's going to be the same, but I am saying he's going to add some intrigue. I promise you that. I promise you that, no question about it. But now, I think that's everything that we can cover outright for the main points of this show. And I forgot one more thing. With topics that we didn't get to discuss the last time, or that we did it on Tuesday. We need to talk real quick about Deontay Wilder. We have to. And I think this butter now is done. It's done. I'm telling you. It's done. It's done. Deontay Wilder in this fight, we didn't get to talk about it. We were going to talk about it on the last show, but we didn't get to because we got caught up with the other stuff, the other topics, the main things of the show kind of took ahead. Absolutely. But with this, now that we got some time, I'm telling you, Wilder, with what he looked like against Herndon earlier this week, oh my gosh, absolutely abysmal. From the standpoint of it is still the same issues and problems, though some stuff got a little bit better. He did use his jab more than he's ever used in his career, or in the last 3 fights. He did do that. We applaud him for that. Okay, he was walking forward more than we've seen him in the last 3 fights. We applaud him for that. We love it. We loved it. He was making an effort to throw that right hand more. We love that. Absolutely. We applaud that. But at the same time, there was still that hesitancy that we keep saying with Wilder that you can't have as a fighter. He was still, to some degree, hesitant to throw that right hand. And there were times, and in fact, the biggest thing about why we keep saying Wilder is a bronze statue is because this man no longer is he that killer anymore. That, again, we talked about this with Tank Davis. Tank Davis, when he goes through a fight, in any fight, when he says he doesn't want to get therapy, he doesn't want to get himself right and all this stuff right now, because he is scared of that fire that makes him be what he is. It's going to be gone. With Wilder, this is a full-blown example of exactly the fear that Gervonta Davis does not want to go through when it comes to his own career, with him losing that spark. Because Wilder lost that spark. Yes, he did. Absolutely, he did. This cat went through, and I kid you not, this is a brother who when Herndon was on the ropes, shelling up with his, I kid you not, with his face to the ground, just trying to survive in the corner, Deontay Wilder let him off. More than that, he let him out. He let him be. He let him exist. He let him stay apparent and did not even attempt to go through and just wail on him when he was ready to go. He didn't. Yes, he got the TKO stoppage. Yes, he did. All well and good. But he did not let, or rather, he did what happened was that he did not get a situation where he was really going for broke and going full blown, I'm gonna wreck havoc. Because now you're vulnerable. Every clinch, he wasn't aggressive in trying to come back in and do some real damage. Every time Herndon got in the corner, he would throw a shot, throw a 1-2. You'd see the start of the violence, the start of the flurry, the start of that windmilling type action, the reckless abandon, and then he would stop and let him out. He consistently did not try to end the show when multiple occasions he could have ended the show. It's problematic. He's still leaning back when he doesn't need to. He still ain't using his guard. He's still walking in with his hands down. He is still relying on instincts that he doesn't have to be great defensively, which is bad. But at the same time, the biggest thing of all of them, he is not going and pushing his foot on the gas pedal to go and take out his opposition when they are ready to go. And he's letting them live. He's letting them live. And see, we've seen this happen before also in boxing history. For example, look at the likes of George Foreman. George Foreman, 15 years after he retired, coming back into the sport of boxing, he was a different man, a changed man. He actually cared about the well-being of the people in front of him. He would not just go and destroy you. He would try to get the ref to stop the fight. He would do just enough damage to get you hurt, looking for the ref to end it. And then would do it enough and then hold back. But he held back. He did hold back on multiple occasions to try to take an opponent out because he didn't want you hurting him. But understand, he had the skill to do that. He had the skill to do that. And he was still getting people out of there. Even when holding back, he was getting people out of there when they were supposed to be out of there. Wilder, with this fight with Herndon, he does not have the skill set to be afforded the luxury of just going out there and letting people survive when they are ready to go, looking to wail on the body, looking to wail and really go to do some damage. He doesn't have that luxury just to be so kind to his opponent. Especially if they're doubled over with their guard up in the corner and you're not even trying to tee off on them. You ain't throwing no uppercuts. You're throwing these slapping hooks to the body. You are not framing them back up Even with your straight right, you ain't fully committing like you normally do with the Wilder that we know to go and really make an effort to take out your opposition. Even when committing to punches, you're still holding back on shots. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's what's wrong with Wilder. He is stuck in this tar of mental blockage, of going and looking to destroy. He, with his talent that he's got, which is not much as a boxer, he does not have the luxury of affording to say, I want to do just enough to hurt you, but I don't want to hurt you too bad. You can't do that. You have to go and fight with that reckless abandon. And even in a fight that should have been a clean, done deal, you won it cleanly. You won it fair and square. You did everything you wanted to do. But you still did not do the very thing that we know you're supposed to do. Be a bomber. Be a person that blows up competition. Be a brother that goes out there without a care in the world for their opponent or themselves and look to wreak havoc. You can't fight like that. You can't. If you want any inkling to getting back at the top, you can't fight like that. You cannot fight like that at all. But you want to fight like that. You're not. Wilder is done. I'm telling you this right now. Deontay Wilder is done. That mentality, that still apparent hesitation, that willingness to let your opponent off easy when you should be going for broke. Herndon should have been on the floor. Herndon should, and he was looking for a way out. Herndon was trying to look for a way out against Wilder. And he still was not able to get him out of there a knockout. Not a TK, I'm talking about on the floor. Some people say, hey, the ref stopped it early. Okay, fine. It should have been 3 rounds ago. He could have stopped that fight. Absolutely. But he didn't. Because there is a blockage in his mind that he can't get out of right now. He needs a coach that can instill that former level of fear, ferocity, legitimate reckless abandon. Because that's what got him to the mountaintop. And if he ever wants to get back to that mountaintop, that's what he's got to use. Because if he doesn't, he won't ever get to that point again. Tell me, it's going to be a major problem. It's going to be a huge, huge issue. A huge issue that it's going to bite him in the butt. I promise you, it's going to bite him in the butt. I guarantee you. Mark my words. This win, for me, was not a good win. For me, this wasn't a good win at all. Horrible win. For me, it was a terrible win. I hate it. I do indeed despise it. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating indeed. But again, we got more. I think that we've about covered everything that we can on this show. And we can go to the championship rounds right now. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's the championship rounds. Yes, sir. Whatever you want to say, make the show your own. Questions, comments, concerns, boxing, basketball, sports, movies, video games, all that stuff. If you want to discuss it, we can discuss it right now. Make the show your own. Have your voice be heard. If you haven't already, leave a like on the stream. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below. We can keep on bringing it up and have your voice be seen by the masses to engage in some helpful conversation. If you would, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the empire and help us, again, help us grow, help be a part. If you want to support the show, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, and means in the description in order for you to give. If you want to give to the show and help support, not just keep the lights on, but to help us invest back into this show and make it bigger and better for you all, because that's what you all deserve, no question about it. And hey, if whatever you can give, I would appreciate it oh so much, and it would mean the world to me. And tell me if you give something so I can acknowledge you on the stream right now. Again, we ain't got the super chats yet. We're growing. Less than 100 hours away from watch time, from getting those. So hey, we getting there. We're moving up. We're moving up. We getting up there. It's great. But we can't do this without your help, absolutely. And so please, keep on watching, keep on sharing, keep on engaging, and we can keep on having conversations. We can keep on making this show bigger and better for you all. and I'll make this the best it can be. No question. But it is the championship rounds, so I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear your comments on whatever questions or comments you have, whatever you want to discuss, whatever is on your mind. We got 15 to 30 minutes. We can go and do what we do best, which is go and talk. And this time, you all drive the conversation absolutely. While you're getting your comments together, we can have more discussions about just the world of boxing as a whole. In fact, let me open this window a little bit so I can get a little bit more light in here. It's a tad bit dark in here for me. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can see what's going on right now. I think, that should be fine. That should be fine. That should be okay. We should be good to go for now. I think this light might be too much light actually for this camera to be able to handle. But regardless of which, we're still here. We got 15 to 30 minutes. Let's see what you all got to say if you have anything to say. If not, don't worry. I'll still be making content. We still got a whole bunch of stuff to discuss. We can talk about free agency real quick. As we now know, if you are an NBA fan, the Lakers, yes, finally made a move. And what has been one of the more pinpoint points in the world of basketball today, and one of the biggest, I guess, not threshold is the wrong word, one of the biggest subject topics in the world of basketball, with the Lakers finally getting a center. Yes, indeed, it's happening. It's for real. Can you believe it? They got DeAndre Ayton. Hey, oh, wow. Ain't that impressive? Ooh, are they built for a championship? I'm going to tell you this right now. No, they're not. Not right now. Now, let bump the brakes now. Let's not get it twisted. This is a good pickup. It is a good pickup. It's a good thing that they got DeAndre Ayton. 7'1", I believe, around 240, 250. Was a former number 1 overall pick. Has been to the finals before and put on an incredible performance individually, with them having one of the best mid-range shots that we've seen in the NBA Finals history. Shooting, I think, 60% for the entire series. It was ridiculous. It was insane. He's played on Portland. He's played on Phoenix. He's played in, I think there was another team that he played on. I can't think of it right now. This might be his second or third team, actually. But regardless of which, now that he's here, what did this mean for the world of the Los Angeles Lakers and their success going forward? Well, this means that they are now partly there. They're partly there. The issue with Ayton, while offensively great, love that, he can't get a bucket on his own. He has the ability to genuinely put up 20 and 15, 20 and 10, 25 and 12. He can give you 30 on great days. The issue is defensively, this man is a problem. This man is a problem. He's a problem in the worst way. Not in a good way. He's a problem in the worst way. This brother is a problematic entity. When it comes to the world of defense in the NBA, he will not, I repeat, he won't be the defender that they need to lock down the paint. We talked about it before. Them being a championship caliber team has been always with a 3 big rotation that are all solid defensively. Athletic, tall, and they're able to control that low block, both on the boards and with actual defense, whether it's hands up or whether it's blocking outright. Even with Marc Gasol, former Defensive Player of the Year, who, mind you, that he shouldn't have won that award the year that he won it, but still had a legitimate moniker of defensive ability. This is what we're talking about when it comes to the likes of Ayton. He's soft as a defender, incredibly soft as a defender, and worse than that, this cat is a brother who continually, on a routine basis, lets people get by. More so, is not nearly as much of a hindrance to any people driving to the paint as you would want. And also, beyond just his defensive deficiencies, offensively, he can play soft as well. Soft in a way that he won't go and make himself a big body down low in the paint. He will go out of dunks and try to hit post hooks. He will have a mismatch and still take jumpers. Still take turnarounds instead of bullying his way down to the paint. Now, I'm not saying you can't play with finesse and style. I do want that. Footwork and having a mid-range game is great, especially with the latter years of the likes of Anthony Davis, when he used to have a mid-range game and they just fell to the earth for some odd reason. Directly after his championship year, I don't know what happened. But regardless of which, Making some space in the paint ain't bad. But using the space that you got also ain't bad either. And Ayton doesn't do that in the way that you would want. With somebody who has been touted as a good player, a good center, can play up to a great level, but is not on a consistent basis using his physical gifts in a dominant fashion that you would want for somebody who is 7'1" with great verticality and legitimate strength to him. He's not weak. That's the crazy thing. But he plays in a manner that you would think he ain't got a whole lot of strength on him, which is insane. But it's the truth. Couple that with the fact that now it's DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, and Maxi Kleber as the three big rotation that they got right now. But that's a recipe for disaster. Horrific when it comes to being able to lock down the post. If you want to make this work, you got to get some other big dogs that can really go through and be a physical presence. Not saying that physicality is the best thing, is everything. But it's the biggest thing that can fit the formula for what this team is as a roster. They're still incomplete. They just got rid of, they let Dorian Finney-Smith walk. And now, here's somebody who Luka liked. And they let him walk because of the fact that Rob Pelinka was telling everybody that Finney-Smith had a bum knee. Telling all these teams that he had a bum knee. Which, why would you spread that? Why? Why would you spread that? And then it made it so that Dorian Finney-Smith didn't want to be there. So, at this point in time, they've lost one of the biggest pieces that they got last season that they wanted to keep around to help fill out that defensive wing rotation and be a real 3-and-D type of brother. He's gone. You got Ayton, but you still got Kleber, and you ain't got great defensive bigs on your roster to back up Ayton. LeBron is in doubt for if he's going to stay in Los Angeles because of the moves that they made in the offseason or lack thereof that they made in the offseason, prioritizing going into 2027 rather than looking for a championship right now. That's problematic. That's very problematic. It's stupid because you got two stars right now you can build around right now for a championship right now. Don't want to waste Luka's prime or what's left of LeBron's career, who is still giving you 25 and 6, 25 and 7 on 50+% from the field. Close to 40% from three, at least above 35% from three. Doesn't make any sense to me. But this is the hole that the Lakers are digging themselves in. It's a problem. It's an issue. It's something that is, and they need to stop. They need to stop, or else it's going to be a bad type of situation. It's going to be a very bad situation. That it's going to wreak havoc. Tell me. If they don't get that fixed, they don't get the rotation possible. They don't get more wing defenders. Just because you got DeAndre Ayton does not solve everything. No, it does not. No, it doesn't. But you still got holes in your defense. Couple that with the fact that Austin Reeves might be testing free agency next year. Ooh, shoot. If y'all don't go for it right now, you may not have a future, even with Luka on your roster, to make moves that you want to make. Don't take this move. Don't take it for granted. You better get what you can while you can, because if not, it can be problematic. Absolutely. But again, if nobody else has anything to say, and if everybody's all well and good with their chats and comments and all this stuff, I think we're going to end the show here. So with all of that being said, this has been another episode of The Watch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. Please leave a like on the stream before you go. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked or didn't like about the show. Be sure to subscribe to the Empire. Join the Empire. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post on this channel. Also, be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together and help grow this kingdom that we got going on right now. If you would, please support the show. We got Cash App, PayPal links in the description as well for you to go on and give us support. Anything we're doing, we appreciate it so much. And also, we're available on every podcasting platform, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Rate us 5 stars on there. Listen to us everywhere you can. And hey, we're going to see you all tomorrow on 4th of July weekend. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on Friday.